Hi guys, here are 7 reasons to consider an SUV for your next rig. Hi guys, this is Sarah Tree and I'm back again with another 7 reasons, and this time we are going to talk about 7 reasons to consider an SUV for your next rig. And for those of you who may not know, an SUV is an acronym for Sport Utility Vehicle. I know we are so used to hearing the acronym that we probably don't even realize that it is supposed to be a utilitarian vehicle. And in case you guys are new to the channel, we do 7 reasons because, well, 10 takes way too long and 7 is long enough because I'm pretty darn long-winded. Okay, so let's get to it. Number 1 is that most of the time SUVs are pretty compact. You can fit them into very tight parking spaces and they're very easy to drive around the city. And if you are going to go off-road, they can get into a lot of tight corners and places that a lot of bigger rigs cannot go, especially an RV. So for that reason alone, I have been looking into them myself over the years, and yeah, it's just a very interesting facet of owning one of these. Number 2, a lot of times you can get them with the 4x4 option on them, which is a good thing. They're not as expensive as like a pickup truck or a van that's a 4x4, so it's a really good option if you really do want to do some overlanding and you really want a 4x4. Any kind of sport utility vehicle is going to be a lot less expensive than, like I say, like a truck. And they're going to get into the tight spots and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to pay less for a regular old sport utility vehicle, whatever it is, than you would for a Jeep. But you could possibly, if you kit it out right, you can probably go where Jeeps go. So it's a really good advantage to considering them, because a lot of them are 4x4s. And so number 2 is a really big one for me, because I really didn't want to give up my 4-wheel drive, and there have been times, especially lately within the last few weeks even, that I've kind of regretted not having a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And so yeah, it's a really good option to have. So number 2 is a very good reason. Number 3, because a lot of times soccer moms and little old ladies buy these things because, you know, it's just a good all-around utility vehicle for them. They tend to be well cared for if you want to buy a used one. If you are not in the new car market or anything like that, it is a very, very good option to find, you know, a late model used SUV for a lot less money than you would pay for even the same era of pickup truck. And there's a lot of them out there to choose from. But yeah, they are very, very well cared for in most cases, because they are driven by people who just drive them a little bit around town, and they keep up with the maintenance and all that kind of stuff. And they don't abuse them. They don't take them off road or anything. They just want to have that 4-wheel drive option or whatever because of bad weather or something like that. So you're going to be getting a vehicle that's in pretty good shape if you have to buy used. Number 4, they're extremely stealth. You know, I don't really recommend this, but if you end up to where you have to park in a neighborhood or something like that one or 2 nights, or, you know, if you're just passing through town and you really need to urban stealth camp, they blend right in. I mean, you could probably, if you do it right and you're very quiet and keep your windows blacked out, I'm pretty sure you could probably park in just about any neighborhood, even right in front of somebody's house, you know, and not be noticed, as long as you don't stay there forever. They're very, very stealthy, and they just blend right in because, you know, probably 5 or 6 people down the block have the same one, you know what I mean? So they don't know whose is whose unless they look at license plates, and most people don't even notice. They don't even look at, you know, license plates. And if you park near an apartment complex or something like that, they're probably just thinking that you're visiting somebody there, and they won't even like blink an eye. They're not even going to realize that somebody's in that itty-bitty little sport utility vehicle sleeping. So they're very good for stealth. Then they blend right in. Number 5, they have a lot of up-to-date creature comforts that some of them, like especially if you have to buy used, that some of the older, you know, trucks and vans don't have. when it comes to sport utilities and minivans and cars, they're going to put all the new bells and whistles in those things first before they're going to be putting them in their bigger trucks and other vehicles, because their bigger trucks and other vehicles are going to sell no matter what, because people need them for work trucks or what have you. So they're not as concerned about putting all these fancy dancy things in them as they are the passenger vehicles. And a sport utility vehicle, even though it can be used as a workhorse, is definitely a passenger vehicle first and foremost. So they're going to be putting all of their good, you know, gadgets in there first. So if you have to buy used, that's an important consideration if you want something that feels like it's a little bit more updated. Like my van, for an example, it's a 1990s model, but they never updated the inside of it until like probably 2003 or 4. So it's still got all of the nice 1970s features in it, except for the actual cassette deck instead of an 8-track. But cars of the same era and sport utilities of the same mid-1990s era have all kinds of awesome stuff in them that, you know, cars have nowadays, like CD players and nice air conditioning and push button, all kinds of stuff. So there you go. That's a good example. But they're, you know, and the newer you get, the more so that's going to be. So, you know, if you want to get something that's a few years old because of budget or whatever, you're going to be getting more updated stuff if you buy something like a sport utility vehicle or a car or a minivan, because they are, like I say, basically built for creature comfort as opposed to something that's built for work like a cargo van or a big old truck. Okay, number 6, you can tow stuff behind some of them if need be. Some of them are teeny tiny. Some of them, like the little Hondas and stuff, I probably wouldn't tow more than a small utility trailer or a jet ski. But there are some of the bigger ones, like a Chevy Tahoe or a Chevy Suburban, depending on how far back you go, and a Toyota Sequoia that can tow just as much as a truck, or at least very close to that. So you could possibly get one that you could tow a travel trailer with, which, if that's something that you would like to do, but you still want a vehicle that's enclosed and has a low profile, you might want to consider a sport utility vehicle that's big enough, like, you know, a Suburban or a Sequoia, that you can tow your travel trailer with, let's say, or whatever. So to me, that's a pretty good reason, if you want something that's heavy duty, but you still want all the good creature comforts and that kind of thing. Let me see. Number 7 is my favorite. A lot of them have the hatchback door that swings up in the back, which is great because it reminds me of a teardrop trailer. And especially if you do get one that's really compact and small, you can build your kitchen so that it comes out the back like a teardrop trailer, and it's got that door that swings up. So if it does happen to start kind of raining or something like that, you'll still have a little bit of a roof over your head and some protection from the weather, while if you have to cook outside while living in one of these things. So to me, number 7 is a really good reason. I think that it's kind of gives it some character and some charm. Some people might not like that, but I think that if you are into that kind of thing and you want to cook outside a lot, I think having that option to where you can just open the door in the back and stand underneath it is a good thing. So to me, that's one of my favorite things about possibly considering an SUV for a rig, is that you have that option. And they also do like have little tarps that you could buy and you know, put on the sides of the door as it's open, so that as sort of like a windbreak too, if you so chose to. And then you can have a little bit more, even more protection from the weather while you're out there cooking. Some people don't like that feature. Some people don't want to have that, you know, but that's up to you guys. But I do think that that is kind of a neat thing. So you basically have something that's sort of like a tailgate on a pickup truck, but then you've also got all the other nice comfortable features of possibly like a van. So to me, I think it's a lot more versatile when it comes to that kind of thing. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and please check my description for all kinds of interesting things. I have random videos on there, and I also have links to stuff that I like on Amazon. I don't put very many things up there because, quite frankly, I haven't really found too many things that I felt that I could recommend to people. And as I find more things, I will be putting more things up. So there you go. And yeah, check it out. And if you want to email me or anything like that, I have an email address down there just for you guys, down at the bottom of my description. And yeah, so if you guys want to tell me something in private or whatever, or I don't know, just whatever you want, you know, to contact me for whatever, my email is there. So yeah, thank you so very much for watching my video, and like I say, I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.